Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to Relationship Rhetoric. I'm your host, Unapologetically Angela. It has been a few minutes since I've had an opportunity to sit down and just chat it up with you guys. Thank you for being with me. I have been, very intentional about who I speak with, especially since the issue with me being removed from Facebook for whatever reason. I just intentionally did not put forth that energy to get back on, and am using YouTube right now as my platform. But I am extremely honored to be doing today's show because the main purpose of relationship rhetoric is to create memories for people to be able to come back and reflect on, for people to be able to actually have a platform to speak freely, not just for themselves, but for other people. There's so many people that are going through in the world and, for whatever reason, don't have anyone to talk to or feel like that they are going through something that they are isolated or alone. So to be able to do something like this today really warms my heart because I love both of these ladies so much, and they bring two different extremes to my life. And I'm, thinking of back about when I first met Nicole, and I can't remember. I think I met her mom before I met her. That's my recollection, but who knows? But anyway, so today's show, we are going to talk to Nicole and Beverly Dorsey. Again, two amazingly creative, beautiful brown skinned women who are if you've ever met them, they are very vocal about who they are, what they represent, what they think, what they like, what they don't like. So you can really tell that they are mom and daughter. And this particular show, they're just going to go down memory lane and discuss some memories. And I'll let Nicole actually talk about the significance of this particular show. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Nicole and Beverly Dorsey. Ladies, and how are you this evening?
Living.
Li- That's it. Yes, we are absolutely living. Y'all look great out there with the sun glistening on your
Oh,
skin.
listen, I know we got the same listen.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, so what I would really like to do is, Nicole, I really would like for you to just share with everyone, the reason why we're doing this, and then I will just chime in with questions for the both of you guys.
Okay, so I have done Angela's show before, and it was such a warming and healing experience for me and my partner Vaughn. I thought maybe it'd be a great idea to do this experience with my mother, who at the moment, is going through. Has dementia, so she remembers this moment, but she won't remember this moment tomorrow. But I thought it'd be great to have this moment documented so she can watch it over and over again, and we'd have something to share upon and be able to connect with, and just something fun that's just not so serious, the stuff that we always have to deal with in everyday life since I'm her main caretaker.
Okay.
And I just thought this would just be fun experience for she and I to do and to have, and just to share forever
Okay.
or
What's
our
very
forever.
What's very interesting about this, and just being a little transparent about my life. So, where you see me right now, I am in Miss Beverly's roof. Her roof is a loft. So, I reside with her and we interact on a regular basis. So, even though this moment she may not remember, her long term memory is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. The stories that she shares is unreal. So my first question to you, Miss Beverly, is what kind of child was Nicole?
Well, that's a hard question. I had two daughters, and by the time Nicole came along, had already dealt with her sister, and so she was a godsend. How about that? It was such a big difference between the two of them that
to dote on the second child because I didn't have to worry about whether this child was going to come home, whether this child had run off down the street when I told her not to. None of that. The other child, of course, was quite the opposite. So Nicole is a little angel. How about that?
Okay, so Nicole,
thank you for dementia. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me just say this: because you are outside, make sure when you talk, you lean towards your speaker.
Okay, yeah,
okay,
got it.
All right.
We'll get up close.
Yeah. So Nicole, with that being said, okay, how do you remember your childhood and your relationship with your mom?
Well, I mean, my mom was everything to me. So, as a child, I was the undiagnosed ADHD. So I was just always known as the difficult one, the difficult child to deal with. Like I wouldn't deal with anybody else but my mother. I was very logical and very rational. So, and of course, we grew up in a day and age where you just children were seen and not heard. But I wanted to be heard and seen, and my mother always made me heard and seen. So if I dealt with somebody else, I'd give them much attitude because I'm just like, who are you and why? And I just was not happy, and I would express that, and I'd be screaming and yelling, and it'd just be like one of those ADHD meltdowns. So, my mother was a huge part of my life, just even because I didn't even have really babysitters growing up. I had one once because my grandmother had like this surgery, and it was my mom's best friend at the time. She was kind of like my play aunt, and she kept calling Mama in tears. Oh, I don't know how to deal with her. Yeah. So, and then she always said, one day you will have children.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah. That's kind of funny.
And so it's only two of you all. So, Miss Beverly, you did not have a son.
No.
How? So raising two girls, was that fun? Did you ever have a moment where you wanted a third?
No. See, wait a minute. And I had no brothers either.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because you were the only child.
Well, you had your dad.
I was about to say, the only male in my life was my father, who doted on me. And I just really didn't expect those other male figures to dote on me like my father did. So I wasn't, I know you're supposed to be interested in males, but I tended to be adversarial to males, especially my age. And when we were coming along in school, I was just, you know what? I was Superwoman. Okay, I don't know what you are, but I'm Superwoman. So, and that's how I grew up, and that's probably why I have an ex-husband now. I'll just put that in there.
Wait a minute. I hope all my friends who are able to watch this will understand why Nicole is kill the patriarchy. Down with it. Up with feminist power.
She is telling the truth. Because again, we've had a lot of conversations about the standards that our dad set for us, and that's probably why we are the way we are right now. Yes. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. So, Miss Beverly, if you can remember, when did you realize that Nicole was creative? I mean, and she's not just creative, she's creative.
Oh my goodness. She had to have been very, very young because she has been creative from the start. Oh my goodness, forever. She's always been creative.
I don't know. Can you remember the art show I did when I was 3?
No, when you were 3.
Yeah, I did. It's a funny story. I wish she could still tell it, but I was 3 and I did an art show for my preschool, and I went to a Montessori school.
Oh yeah.
apparently they felt as though my mother helped me with this project, and I did it all by myself. But my mom, coached me, but I actually did the project myself. So then it was this moment of, well, she couldn't have possibly have done that. So it was kind of a jury kind of thing. So I did not make the jury selection because her mother did the whole project.
Wow.
And literally, it's odd that I tell that story because that became literally the rest of my life. Every project that I did up until high school was she couldn't have done that.
Wow. Wow. Oh, that's
And
sad.
yet, when I was in school and the things that I would do, I'd get the same feedback. She couldn't have done that.
Wow.
But people at home at her house did that.
Miss Beverly, would you share the story about how you started making your own jewelry?
Oh, I don't remember that one. Well, start with the bones. You had bones, and you were probably about the 9th grade when you started making with the bones. You take the kitchen bones.
And your mom wouldn't?
Did.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would just, like the rib bones or whatever,
Mhm.
and I would try to carve them out. Well, in the first place, you have to cut them open and get the goop in the middle out, and then clean them off, and then wash them, and you wash them down, and then forbid it not. You get an ice pick. You have to get the ice pick when your mama's not looking, okay? You get the ice pick, you put the ice pick on that bowl, you get a hammer, and don't get the big hammer, you get those smaller hammers, and then you boom, boom, and you put holes in there. And see, you have already split this bone in half. And then find some string, some good string, not the thread, but some strong string, and then you latch these together and make a bracelet.
And we're talking about like a chicken bone?
Yeah. She used to
Are
use
you kidding
bone
me?
and the rib
Rib
bones
bone.
and whatever. That's how she started.
Wow.
Yeah.
She'd soak them like after you get them. After you get them, you gotta wash them and soak them and then dry them out, and then you can.
And which was easy for me to do because I was on the dishwasher. See, I was the only child, so I was the dishwasher. So I would soak. You have to soak the bones, and when the marrow in the middle starts softening up, then you could cut that. You could cut that open. Yeah.
And all this is because your mom wouldn't buy you jewelry?
I didn't ask.
You didn't ask.
Yes, they came up in times when you did not ask.
No,
I
didn't. No.
Okay.
It was a luxury. And
Yeah.
She did not ask. She doesn't ask for luxuries now. I have to just give it to her. But yeah, but she didn't ask for luxuries.
Huh. Okay.
The only real jewelry that I got when I was young was when my mother had some broken pieces of jewelry. And I would take the broken pieces of jewelry and create my own piece. But
Mhm.
other than that, no.
But your mother was creative as well, correct?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She made all of my clothes, including my wedding dress.
Yeah.
Which she bought that. She says, I am not going to make your wedding dress. And I said, okay, let's go look at the wedding dresses. And we did. And she says, came back and says, I will make your dress.
So, Nicole, you were able to meet your grandmother, correct?
Oh yeah,
Okay. Well,
Vera is named after my grandmother.
yeah. What was that relationship like?
Oh, me and my grandmother, two peas in a pod. Oh my gosh, we were just alike. We would take like little what do you call those little lizards, and we'd go catch one just so we could throw it on my sister. Me and her would team up together because my sister was scared of all that kind of stuff. It was just like, let's go do it. We plot together. Let's go find it. We're gonna get her. My grandma was around.
That was my mother. I tell you, it's all my mother.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
she my grandmother, we were a lot alike actually. Yeah, she was very independent, very stubborn, very strong-willed at what she wanted, and she could wait for it until she got it. She was just a big key figure in my life, because I mean she pretty much was helped raise me, along with my mother.
Hmm. So did your grandmother have dementia?
She did. I
Hmm.
wouldn't have known that until Mama started getting it, and then I could recall back and go, "Oh, my grandmother ultimately died of something else. She did not die of dementia. She did have dementia. She probably had the early stages of it, because one of my funniest, I have a funny story. I went to college in New Mexico.
Hmm.
To get to my college in Roswell, New Mexico, it required you to take a car, drive to Little Rock, Arkansas, get on the airplane in Little Rock, Arkansas, fly then to Dallas, and then take an a connecting flight from Dallas then to Albuquerque, and then from Albuquerque you then took a 3-hour bus ride to Roswell. It was a 12-hour ordeal just to get there. So my grandmother for my graduation needed to come out there to Roswell, and my mother and her, she was just, it was like the nightmare. She kept asking, my grandmother kept saying, "Where are we going? Where are we going? Who are we going to see?
Are we there yet?
Are we there yet?" And Mama was like, just trying to get her through the airport, make her understand this is Dallas Airport. We gotta get from this spot all the way to the other side of the airport to get our connecting flight, and we gotta do it now. And she just was like confused. Where are we going?
I literally would have to drag her and make sure I still had her on my arm, hook her arm in my arm,
So
and say, "Come on, Mama, we got to go over here now. Come on, Mama, come on."
So she was exhausted. Mama was exhausted. Grandma was fine, but she tried not to lose it. Yeah, but I didn't. I just thought, oh, she's just getting old. But no, she probably had the early onset of dementia then.
She had it a while.
And I just, I was young. I didn't recognize it, and now that makes me know where my daughter is now. When I'm like, "Do you understand your grandmother doesn't get this?" And she's like,
Hmm.
"Whatever, Mama, you're just being over dramatic, you know." And I probably am being over dramatic, because I just remember though what my grandmother went through, and she
Yeah.
doesn't have that experience to draw from.
Yeah. 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 So at what let's do this, Miss Beverly.
Yes.
So if as much as you can tell me, do you remember when Nicole was explaining to you what was going on with your memory?
The doctor had told me.
Yeah, the
Okay.
doctor told us, oh,
Okay.
At,
probably.
together, we were together. She
Okay.
always went to the doctor's appointment with me.
Okay.
So the doctor told us, and
Yeah, she had the full psyche valve.
yeah,
She's been at the full diagnosis. Like my grandmother didn't have any of that, but my mother has. She's had all of she's gone to the neuropsychologist and then also to the neurologist, and then of course they officially diagnosed her with dementia. And of course it's vascular dementia set on by having a lot of mini strokes from high blood pressure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So does she currently still have high blood pressure
do I have high blood pressure?
now?
Yes, I
Okay.
take medication.
He takes medicine. It is now controlled with medication because I pushed. It took many, many years, probably 10 years, to finally get a parathyroid surgery done correctly that she needed. And so, because she had it done the first time and they didn't do it correctly, and removed no parathyroid tissue, and my mother probably pretty much had a nervous breakdown after that. And then I decided to step in and help her with her medical needs, and it took us 10 years, but we finally got that parathyroid surgery done and done correctly, and they finally got that parathyroid removed. And so I totally understand when I hear people's drama of the doctor didn't believe me, or things I'm saying to him that I haven't done or have done. And I totally understand that, because that is what was happening to us. We went through probably these five. I don't know how many endocrinologists.
I don't know. We were going from doctor to doctor.
Yeah, it
But
finally
you
was
wouldn't
the
time.
nephrologist, which is the kidney doctor, that got on our side and helped us get the push through. And he found us another endocrinologist that would help us. And he agreed. They both agreed, and then that's what got the surgery through. And he actually got the major parathyroid that he could find, and he says it was triple the size that it should have been, and should have been removed ages ago. And he got it out, but he said there was probably another one, but it was too close to her vocal cords, and it would risk her losing her voice. So he couldn't get the other one, but now with medication, it is controlled.
Okay. 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 Wow.
But
But that took years.
yeah, and then of
Years.
course the damage was already done.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Miss Beverly, I know I wake up some mornings and you are playing the piano.
Yes.
What does that do for you? Are you reading? Are you sight reading the music?
No.
You're playing from your memory?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I started when I started playing piano. I played by did not play by notes.
Okay.
4 years old.
I was four. Nicole say when I was 4 years old.
She's
Yes.
been playing piano since she was
And
3.
I had a piano. I had a child size piano, and I would pick out the notes on the keyboard and play whatever song I wanted to play on the keyboard. And eventually, I graduated to bigger and bigger and bigger pianos and keyboards, and because I loved music. Somehow, music comforts me. It is a sedative. So if I'm having a rough time for whatever reason, inside of myself or outside of myself, then I will go and sit at the keyboard and play the keyboard. That keyboard is my medicine. And I've been playing. I had a little toy piano when I was like a little girl, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, and I started with that piano. My father played piano. He played by ear. He played really well, and so I was encouraged just because I heard him, and I would get on my little keyboard and go ding ding ding. I can play with. Look, I can play with two hands. Ding 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 ding. But when I got older, I did finally get lessons, music lessons, and I learned about notes and keyboards and all that sort of thing. And I still will revert to ding 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 ding, making up our own songs.
She was
Yeah.
classically trained. She played piano, like I said, from 4 years old till ninth grade, and then as a black woman after ninth grade, it was just really no other future for her in the piano. She could have kept playing, but her family would not let her leave out of town because she would have had to leave Memphis and go somewhere else to further her career. And her family, she's the only child, and they would not let her do that.
That
Wow.
was not going to happen.
Wow.
So that was the end of her piano career.
Wow. Well, what I want to say is, Nicole, it is. I mean, I know it's just what a daughter does, but it's really beautiful to me that the things that she loves to do, you intentionally go out and find these things so that she can have them available because she has keyboard. When she wants to keyboard, she keyboards. When she wants to do her puzzles are available. When she wants to make earrings, she can make. So any little thing that she wants to do is available for her in her home, and it's amazing to watch because I never know. One morning I may get up and there's a whole rack of earrings.
Yeah.
One morning I may get up and it's rocks painted and they're all over the house. I mean, but
Yeah.
you know, but it's just great that she has access to the things that she loves. So to me, that means you're paying attention to your mom.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, she takes care of
Yeah, even the
Yeah, yeah,
keyboard.
yeah.
So her piano got because of many things got ruined. Um, because it just was in the. We had to leave our home that I grew up in. We had to foreclose on the house, and we had to leave the piano. So she lost that piano, and the first thing I did was spend tons of time trying to find her something to replace that with. And then just lo and behold, I walked up into a thrift store one day and there's $1,000 keyboard for $300. And I'm like, I want it, want it right now. And so she has the state of the art keyboard.
Yes.
I know she's saying keyboard, but it is $1,000 keyboard. It is a piano touch keyboard. It's
It
probably used
is.
in somebody's church, it looks like.
It is. It is.
But it is a very high class keyboard that she can use.
Yeah.
It needs an
It's nice.
amplifier on it. So
Wow. Okay. So Now, I also know that Miss Beverly can be a little feisty. So,
Thank you for little.
what are your struggles with her sometimes?
Hmm. Well, my mother is super intelligent. In case you guys haven't already figured that, so even just catching the dementia for me took a long time. I don't think I really paid attention that it was there. I think I was in denial. I thought she's depressed and she'll just pop out of this. And the doctor was like, no, no, she's not gonna pop out of this. So I guess once I finally just came to terms with that, then it made things a lot better. I understood some of her mama's struggles was me, not her. And then I need to just change my approach, kind of like you do with children. You just need to change your approach. Like, um, she has the normal struggles of remembering when to do things, like eat. And eating is the most accomplished goal that I have right now, and I hope it lasts as long as it can last. I know it may not last forever, but we have our system of I make all her meals and then I label them with the dates and like today is the 7/19. It'll say 7/19 breakfast and 7/19 lunch, 7/19 dinner, and then she has her own personal refrigerator where she can just go into that refrigerator and eat only those meals that I've given her. And she's gotten really good at that because she had started um, not being able to have balanced meals and having lots of health issues like constipation and being sick all the time because she wasn't eating properly. And because I would come in, well, what did you eat? Oh, I had this thing of tuna and a ton of bread all day. Half the loaf of bread is gone. I'm like, no, no, you can't eat half a loaf of bread in a day. Um, so she just was having a lot of, just because she just didn't remember. I mean, it's just gone. In one moment is there and it's just gone after that. And once I could come with terms with that, then it's just, well, if she can live in the moment, if she can stay in the moment, and I have this really big clock that has the date and the time that's right in the kitchen. So it's right next to her medications where I have to do the full medication round, and they're in the morning, midday, and evening. And even then, I still have to call her. Did you take your meds? Did you take your meds? And then I still need to go over. Hey, you still didn't take your meds. Even after I asked her to take her meds, she still didn't take her meds. And then I still make her take her meds. So then of course with the meals, and I just keep up with it that way. It's. I have heard some horror stories, so I feel pretty blessed that this is working, and this is good.
She puts labels on them, and that helps because I don't have to remember. I can read the label. Because she'll tell me breakfast, lunch, dinner, and she usually puts the date 7/11 or 20 or whatever.
When I'm doing well.
Yeah.
And a couple times, Angela's been like, "Did you know this food says July is June?" Oh no!
Listen, because listen, when the labels are off, Miss Beverly is going to say, Angela, come look at this for me. And I was like, okay, let's see what's happening here. Because you are very independent, even though it's labeled. She cooks when she's hungry, but if it's not the way it's supposed to be, she's aware. She's aware. So
Yeah.
but
I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
the food that she fixes, is all the in the containers. Like I pre-cook it, but she pretty much has the microwave. She
Yeah.
still remembers how to use her microwave. I've been very grateful for that because even I had to change. Every time you have to change appliances or something, I'm in a panic. I'm like going through making sure is it going to be simple enough that she can still use it, because just changing an appliance can be a nightmare.
Right.
Just changing any little thing, and she can't remember how to use it. Like what? How is it supposed to work? Like you could give her the instructions, and it's just usually instructions to read like that on something on that level is just too overwhelming, and she just won't read it all.
So how did you find a microwave that sang when it was done? Was that on purpose?
No, no. I just looked for a microwave. I wanted to make sure it had the 30-minute, 30-second increment thing because I know that's easiest for her to push the buttons, and that's what her old microwave used to do. So I was just looking for another microwave that did the exact same thing that her old microwave did. That when we replaced it, and I love the singing. I was like, what?
I was
That's
like,
great. And
that
then it
is
keeps
such a
singing that
cool
she needs the food
reminder.
in there.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Keeps
It
it.
reminds her that the food is in the microwave. That was,
It's
I
perfect.
thought that was on purpose.
No, it's perfect. I'm so glad they make these microwaves. See, they know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, Miss Beverly, from what you can pull from right now, what is your fondest memory of Vera?
A beer.
My little baby Vera.
Your little baby Vera.
Not my grown up Vera.
Not
You know she's grown now.
she
No,
is
I'm
grown.
talking about my mama.
Oh, not that. Oh, the grown that your mama beer.
My mama Vera.
No,
No,
I'm
we
talking about
want we,
baby beer.
grandbaby Vera.
Your grandbaby beer.
And you, what was the question?
What is your fondest memory? What is the latest memory you can of your grandbaby, Vera?
This is a most recent memory. And she was a rabbit, a bunny rabbit on the stage. And
Oh, well, not a bunny. It was a dog.
she was
Oh,
a
it was
dog.
a dog.
It was a dog. And she had these big
Long ears. Yeah.
it laughed, and she came out, and I went, "Look at that baby!"
Is that what she was, Snoopy?
She was
Mm-hmm.
Snoopy.
Yeah.
Oh, and I just simply adored it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was the best thing I could have seen.
Yeah. 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 So now your grandbaby has graduated from high school.
Yes.
Her youngest one. Yeah.
That's my youngest one.
That's your youngest. Wow. Wow. And you used to homeschool her?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
I
Nice.
sure
Nice. So Nicole, you were working, obviously, or in
did.
school.
Yes and no. So, homeschooling started. Vera went to regular school for preschool and kindergarten and first grade, and then second grade, I just decided I'm not down with the school. I want to just do something what I can have to do at home. So I found a public school homeschool program. So it was the Tennessee Virtual Academy.
Mhm.
So Vera still could log into this program. She still had a teacher with the program. She still had everyday classes, but she had to have mama at home with her to not only coach her on what she's learned for the day, but then also to make sure she went to classes and all that kind of stuff. I was working, but I had already, I'd already quit my main job because I worked at a job that I worked for 10 years and I used to be always gone. So I had already quit that job in the effort of seeing more of my child's life. I had jobs where I was able to, oddly enough, take her to work with me. So mama would have her during the day, and I would go to work part-time at one job, and then when I get off work, I would come and pick her up and then take her with me to the aftercare program that I worked at. And then I worked at this aftercare program. So I worked at the aftercare program in the evenings for 3 years, and that helped with the homeschooling. Because then she had a social group and friends and all that kind of stuff. And then I also worked at, I worked at a couple different day jobs where I just would have to be off before I would have to be at that other job. So, we spent tons of time. Vera spent tons of time with the three of us.
Yeah,
The
it
three
was
of us
it,
together.
it was definitely a team effort. It really was.
Nice. Nice. I want to act so bad because I remember Miss Beverly sharing the story about um Vera's dad and how she was like, bring the baby to me because I'm gonna help you raise this baby. Does that sound familiar?
I don't know. I don't know about that story. So Vera's been with us the whole time. Like Vera's dad lived with us for 3 months, and then I kicked him out.
He didn't have any business coming in the first place. That's how I felt about it.
she gave him a chance. We all gave him a chance.
And the thing is that his mother and that's his mother's sister, right?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. They've been there the whole time.
They
Since
have
Vera
been
was
there.
3 months old.
Yeah, and
They used to see Vera every weekend. They used to come pick Vera up. Like so, me and Mom would get a break on the weekends from them. And so Vera has had her both of her grandmothers have been in her life like her whole life, and they've been stable rocks for Vera. They have been amazing. I don't know what I would have done without both of her grandmothers.
Nice, nice, very nice. So Nicole, what is your, and I want you to dig between since you found out about dementia, what has been your greatest memory of your mom?
Mm. The greatest memory, um, my childhood was really good. All my childhood, like my entire childhood was very good. Um, when we spent 6 years living in Nashville when I was little, and one of my fondest memories, even just living in Nashville, was we were really poor. Because Mama had like the lowest of the lowest of government jobs, but she kept that job for the same reason I kept the part-time job. She wanted to spend more time with her children. So she could have gotten more jobs that she made more money, but it would have taken away time from her spending with us. So she chose to live just right below the poverty level, and we couldn't go out to eat like everybody else. So we would make up going out to eat days, and we would cook the food in the house and then like wrap it up and put it in paper bags or whatever, or make it buffet style or whatever. And then we'd go outside and get in the car and play like we're driving somewhere. And so then everybody could go drive. You know, like my sister could drive, I could drive. Like we were little too. Like my sister's probably like 10, and so that makes me like whatever 6 years younger than that, 4 or 5. I don't know. So then we'd all play like we're getting in the car and we're driving, we're going somewhere, and then we got here, and then we get out and we go in and get that food that we just made and play like we were getting it, and we'd have some dolls set up with the register, and we pay them Monopoly money, and here's our food, and we get our food and go sit down and go eat. We had more than
Wow.
one day of doing that. We had did that quite a few times. Yeah.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And again, to me, those experiences speak to the level of imagination and creativity you have, because those things were nurtured. Oh, that is so neat. I love that. I love that. So, um, what is your right now your biggest concern?
Angela's moving away. We had like this perfect roommate for Mama. It was so good, and I'm so sad. I'm so excited though. Very excited.
I'm not excited at all.
She's abandoning me. No, what am I gonna do? I mean, I guess that addresses concern for me happens in the moment also, because she's living with dementia. I'm not allowed, I think, to have long-term concern. I'm only allowed to have short-term concern. What are we going to do right now? What's going to happen in the next few weeks when this happens? What's going to happen in the next few weeks when that happens? So I'm not allowed to have the long-term concerns anymore. I mean, eventually Mama's not going to be able to, I think it's just not healthy for her to live at home by herself. And she just probably going to need to have somewhere for her to live. But she doesn't make enough money to have somewhere for her to live in a home. So I don't, and wait a minute, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. She doesn't make enough money to have somewhere to live in a home where she will have all the things that I really want her to have that make her happy. Her cat, her piano, her craft room, I won't be able to move her somewhere where she will have availability of all of those things.
And those three things are making that life worth living. Those three things.
So then it becomes, well, I'll figure it out. So then I'm not allowed to. I just need to think about what we're doing today.
That's right. That's right. And what I can say to you, Miss Beverly, is you have really taught me how to live in the moment.
Yeah.
I process each moment as it comes. I really used to have major anxiety about trying to think about the future. You have definitely helped me with that. I
Oh, great.
You have, because I asked her in the morning, I said, "How are you doing this morning?" She says, "I'm alive."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "You know what? So am I. So am I." You know, that works for me. That is reality, you know. So um
True gratefulness for just the simple
true,
things.
true, absolute gratefulness.
Yeah.
And with that being said, Nicole, I am so grateful. I will tell this story. So I was transitioning from the apartment, the bungalow that I was in, because my landlord sucked. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. You know, the normal thing, people are like, "Oh, I'm going to go ahead and find me another apartment or find me another house." And the world is changing. So an average apartment now is $1,400, and this is that and the other, and the stress of just finding what you want. And one day I'm sitting at work and Nicole Dorsey sends me a text message and says, "How would you feel about staying at my mom's house?" I was like, "What do you mean?" I didn't even respond to her, just because we talked, but I never mentioned to her about needing a place to stay or anything of that nature. And to get here and have the opportunity to just get exactly what I needed to prepare myself for my next journey. I don't know. I couldn't have, this couldn't have been better. This could
Yeah.
not have been better. And, you
But you
know,
feel like that, yeah. It's just
right.
worked out.
And
Well,
I,
but what you don't know is then what you're not thinking about then is right before I text you that I think it may be about 2, 3, maybe a month before that, you and I sat and we had dinner together and
yeah,
we were just having a moment of reconnect. Okay, Nicole, you're not, and I was all over the place. I was just like, oh, life, oh my God, life, and you were like, let's go have dinner, and I was like, okay. And that was so refreshing and was so renewing for me just to have somebody to sit and talk to and just reconnect and understand that I have friends out there who are listening to me and actually could hear my pain instead of me just, I'm in pain. No, I didn't say I was in pain. You could hear my pain. And you were like, what's going on? So, in that conversation, you briefly mentioned that you were having a hard time with your place of living, and you said it, you didn't really make it a topic of conversation, but it was just kind of like, my place is not right and it has not been right and I gotta get somewhere else. And then that's basically all you said about it mostly. And so I remembered that. And so then I don't know, I was having a frustrating one with my mama's. We had a bump in the road that day, and I just went, you know what, I'm gonna ask Angela, does she want to move? I didn't even know. I even told Vaughn, and I was like, I don't even know what she's gonna say. He was like, just ask her. I don't know. Who knows? I was like, all right, I'll ask her. And when you came back and said yes, I was like, oh my God, she really said yes.
yeah. Because again, I remember Miss Beverly from yoga, because Miss Beverly and I used to do yoga together. So that's how I originally met her. So I was like, "Oh, I know this lady." So
Well,
yeah.
realize I'm thinking to myself, I don't want anybody living there. Like I could have easily, put an ad out, and just had anybody live up there, but I don't want that. I wanted someone who would be a friend to my mother, and not necessarily her caretaker, because I didn't need you in there to be caretaker, other than just to pay attention to the house. And if you saw Mama, that's great. But I really wanted somebody just so she was interacting with somebody other than myself every day, and that was important to me when I had to pick someone that was there. Someone that was going to be a friend and not stress her out, was understanding to her situation and would just allow her to be and be where she's at and not chastise her or anything for where she's at. So that was important to me, and I knew you could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am, I will talk more, but I am really doing and talking to, like, for instance, my sister is going to come over at some point to meet and talk, so that my niece can come over and start doing piano lessons once a week.
Yeah.
So that she can be familiar with that. And I actually talked to Miss Jackie, our yoga instructor, and every fourth Tuesday, she's going to start having a little bazaar. And so she would like to Miss Beverly to consider bringing her jewelry every fourth Tuesday
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I think I
to
sit up and listen.
to come and bring her jewelry for people to come through and purchase.
Wow.
So, I've loved connecting with her, and I see the things that she loves. So I'm just trying to people that I know that she's connected to can continue to rotate in and out of this space safely so that she will still have a community of people to love on her.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would
It'd be
know.
nice if we could just have somewhere even just to set the jewelry up permanently, so I don't have to keep moving it back and forth and doing.
Well, I'm definitely sure that's something that you all can talk, but she was very excited about because she has a lot of Miss Beverly jewelry as well.
She does. She has
Yeah.
a lot. She has purchased a ton over the years.
Yeah. So she's very excited about her coming back and being exposed to her jewelry again. So that's going to be, she's going to love that. She's going to love that. Because I know, again, she missed yoga, but you can still be in the space without doing the yoga.
Yes.
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 Yeah.
It'd be nice if she could go to Jackie's yoga class, but trying to get her to go to yoga, she's like, I liked it. I know I want to go.
I tried once, baby. She cut her eyes at me. I said, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm not asking anymore.
No.
No. Nope. You can just go sit up with your jewelry and your crafts.
Yep.
Okay.
I think
You know
yoga's our
what?
thing.
My knees don't
Yeah.
like yoga.
I
That's
get
just
it.
why you sit in a chair.
But I don't want to sit in the chair and everybody else is down on the floor. Come on now.
We're done. That's okay. We're not gonna ask anymore, Miss Beverly. That's fine.
I'm taking a drink.
That's fine. Okay, so before we end, right in this moment, Miss Beverly, what can you say, or what would be your closing remarks to your daughter right now?
My closing remarks. But I'm not closing to her.
Well, we're about to end our interview. I got two deep thoughts, two deep questions.
My
It's the end of our
closing,
interview. Yes, end of our interview. So, what you say at the end of the interview?
I would say that my daughter does not understand how much of a motivator she has been for me, because she has. There have been many times when I said I am not doing it. That's just that. And she'll come back around on the backside and say, well, try this side over here. And she does it every time. I go, I think this girl's trying to slip this on me anyway. She has been my rock, my sword, my shield. That's what she's been.
That's sweet. That's sweet. That's
Ditto. By the way, everyone, that's ditto. Yes, my rock, my sword, my shield. I don't know. She's like, she said, actually, when I was leaving yesterday, she said, I don't know what I would do without you. You've just been so helpful to me. And I'm like, ditto. I don't know what I would do. Like, we have just been,
Hand in hand.
yeah.
And y'all do the sweetest things, like Nicole comes over with ice cream and we just sit around and eat ice cream at the table, just
Yeah.
eating popsicles or have a glass of sangria, whatever it is, it's
Just something. I just try to come up with something. I can't stay long always, so I just want to do something in the moment that's not me and my serious. I gotta make the food. I gotta do this.
That's right.
I gotta vacuum the house. I gotta clean up. Like, okay, we gonna sit here. We gonna eat this ice cream. I'm not gonna think about anything else but sitting here and eating this ice cream and try to get myself out of the caretaker mode. Because caretaker mode and daughter mode are so different. And
Absolutely.
I hate that I'm having to do both because it's just not fair to her, but that's all it is. Yeah.
Well, you're doing it well. I know it may be stressful. You are definitely doing it well.
She's doing a magnificent job. She even makes sure the cat is taken care of. Okay.
You can't leave Precious out.
No.
Nicole, what advice would you give other people who are caretaking for their parents?
Man, I'm still trying to struggling, working that out for myself.
Yeah.
Um, well, I'll say this one thing I have not yet done, which, sorry, Jackie, I haven't done this yet if you're watching this, but haven't yet gotten a community of other people who are going through this. And I really do need to do that. And I think that's probably important. I have listened to some other people's stories, though. And that has helped a lot. So that's like when I know if I had a community, it probably helped me a lot. Just to hear other people's stories, to just kind of help keep yourself calibrated. And where are we at in the stage? You know, everybody's going to be in different space. I will say this: it did help this year. We had another friend who also has dementia, and we did a lot of work for him, and it helped me recalibrate where I'm at with my mom, because he's definitely in a different place than she is, and can't do any, like, I could have created all those systems for him and he could not do that. So it made me really appreciative of where we're at and the things I'm able to do and able to do for her, and she can still independently still take care of herself. So it made me respect that so much more about her. So don't lose your respect either for people with dementia. Keep respect. That also helps keep that calibrating that respect, because sometimes we're like, because they're, just like children, sometimes we lose respect for whatever reason those adults do these things. And I'm just so grateful to have moments where I remember, no, don't. Just like children, all humans need to be respected, and you should respect where they're at, and their decisions and what they want to do.
Yeah. And I think it was kind of one of my memories when I was moving in. The conversation was about baby cleaning out that craft room. Listen,
Yes.
let me tell you something. I walked in the house, Miss Beverly. You may not remember this, but I walked in and I said, Miss Beverly, I'm your roommate. I'm not here. I don't want to keep your craft room. I don't need much space. I'm not moving anything.
Yeah. Yeah, we did a big clean out of her
Yeah.
classroom when you first moved
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Because we really needed it. It really needed to be done,
Yeah.
and she was not happy with us. but it's, you gotta let go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so Miss Beverly, you write poems
Yes,
and you typically wake up with the poem.
yes.
What does that do for you?
It takes me beyond this place where I am to that other place, because there is another place. And it's not heaven, so you're not there. But it is another place outside of yourself that God has prepared for you. And sometimes, if you can reach inside and find that place, just that tiny little capsule, if you just start making on that little ball, taking that thing and rolling it around, just that tiny bit can get you
Yes. Yes. Again, I tell you, I wake up and I don't know.
Poet, wait a minute. The poet, the musician, the writer, the singer. She used to sing in choirs, and had her own little choir. She started when she was younger, a whole bunch of things. She played for them, and she had the choir going. So this multi-talented artist here, who never calls herself an artist.
Never.
Jewelry maker.
Jewelry maker, yeah, jewelry maker, yeah. She
Um,
yeah.
what do you
She's an illustrator, artist.
she makes quilts
Quilter, yeah, quilter, crafter, sewing, yeah, name it, yeah,
and cat mom.
yeah, cat mom.
And cat mom.
I loved it. I took the kids to the metal museum for my job, and as we walked through the metal museum, I was like, oh yeah, we're dealing with copper. My mother used to make jewelry out of copper, like tons of it. She used to make tons of copper jewelry. She would hammer it and made these beautiful jewelry pieces. Like that was like, I think that would, she probably was my age when she was doing that. probably in her 40s or 50s. She was doing that.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Um, this was a great way to, I guess, close out this um, version of relationship rhetoric. Um, you ladies have an amazing relationship. I love how you all are just, again, living day by day, trying to make it work and adjust so that both of you all have balance and are still having meaningful lives. So I thank you for this opportunity to be able to document this, but thank you for letting me live inside of it, because I'm actually living it in here with you guys. And that means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. So, we're not getting emotional. We'll get emotional later. We still have about 17 more days. So
And
we'll
I'm
deal with
counting them. I'm counting those days. I'm counting them. Totally counting them.
so
Like I let myself get sad.
And see, I refused to count. I was like, no, I'm not. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I do not want to know. Best roommate ever. Best roommate ever.
Yeah.
yeah,
And I've had a number of them.
No, she hasn't.
yeah.
She just only had one other. We won't even mention the other
But
person.
if no one miraculous comes along, we'll be spending Christmas together.
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Yes, we will be spending Christmas together. So, ladies, have a good night. Miss Beverly, I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Thank you again, guys. I love you. I really do. I really do.
Thank
All
you.
right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. What a beautiful, just group of ladies. It's very important that we love on our family, children, parents, cousins, siblings. Take advantage of every moment because, again, we're just a vessel. And at a certain period of time, the vessel that we live in, like anything else, is going to begin to break down. Some not like others, but you want to be able to hold the capacity, like Nicole said, and be able to respect the body, respect the spirit that still resides in the body, and the memories that you have shared. Um, I'm really grateful for this experience. Miss Beverly, like I said, has definitely taught me to live in the moment, to be creative. Nicole has taught me how to just live life and take it as it comes. No, it has not been easy, but she has definitely stepped up to the plate. And so, for those of you who may be dealing with a situation like her, look up Nicole Dorsey. It'll be great to have a support system of people who are doing the exact same thing, but need a shoulder to lean on, or a community to get together where she can bring her mother and you all can fellowship together. Community is needed. It is nothing worse than being out here again feeling like you're alone. So, if by chance you are a caretaker for your parent, grandparent, or whatever, reach out. Find Nicole Dorsey on Facebook, Instagram. She's also an amazing face painting artist. Um, Someone that you would want to connect to. And look out for Miss Beverly now. If you are a yoga person and you're familiar with Sapphire Yogi, she will be in the place. You do not want to miss out on just owning a piece of her jewelry, because it's not just a piece of jewelry. It is, she pours her heart, she pours her spirit into it, and you will be blessed by it. Just to sit and listen to her for a few minutes, your whole life will be changed. Thank you again. This is my last relationship rhetoric type video where I'll be actually talking to different types of people. I will be going out of the country for a little while. I'm dealing with a transition right now, and the next time you see me on this platform, I will be sharing my space on the other side of the world. I'll give you more details as that becomes more evident. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you so much for the growth that you've provided for me and just being here and sharing your stories. You have no idea. You have no idea how much you have enriched me and enlightened me. Thank you so much. Peace, love, and transcendence.